So this is on fire, because normally you're talking about a combustion engine vehicle, and down the road we're going to talk about trade-offs. But the first decision you can make with auto is to get off the mindset that your ego is somehow and your worth is related to your car. It is not that. You need comfort for your own life, and again, we're not going to judge here. We're going to talk about an auto payment, and I want to talk about total cost of ownership, because there seems to be some mentality which is all that matters is the monthly payment, and we will get interest later. I remind you, I'm not a certified financial planner or an accountant. I'm just a guy who has lived life within a budget for over 40 years. And so I'm sharing personal experience. And I have found that as life changes, auto becomes something that is variable within it. So how do you control it? Choose something that is reasonable and reliable. And of course, one of the biggest components that people don't get is interest. And they look at the total cost of the loan and they say that is the cost of the car, and that there's no way to predict and plan for car maintenance, and that's not true. So we're talking about a budget, a financial roadmap, and especially as we enter the holidays, we want to create as much predictability as we can. So that's on fire. We've talked housing, groceries, and auto. So how do you save? It's going to be our next component. And I want you to remember that everything I'm going to talk about is just based on your own personal preferences. Everybody's life is different. People are fulfilled different ways. People are constantly, our lives change. So next up, we're going to look at the anatomy of a paycheck. Most people, the number one problem they have is they say, I earn X, and yet when I go and look at my check, I have no idea why it's not the same. And that relates to everything we're talking about, because if you don't know what you're keeping and what you should be keeping, you can't make decisions on home, car, auto. So that's next. We're going to do that over a long time because it's not easy to understand, and it's probably the most important part of your expenses. And by that I mean your check doesn't necessarily match what you earn. And so you have to start there to see, how do I squeeze the most out of my paycheck each and every week, 2 weeks, month, and of course